Hello traders, how's it going? In today's video, we'll be profiling the weekly candle. But before we go right into that, I would like to give credit to AM Trade. I learned this from him, so a big shout out to him, and I highly recommend you go and check him out. He's a great mentor. So let's take a look at what weekly profile is and why is it so important. When we talk of weekly profile, you're indirectly trying to understand the behavior of price over the course of a week. That is, you're talking about the 5 daily candles that makes up the weekly candle, right? Like for this example, we have here on the left a bullish weekly candle, and on the right here we have the 5 daily candles that makes up this weekly candle. So this is the profile of this weekly candle. So the structure of these daily candles makes up this weekly candle. So you always try to understand the profile of this weekly candle or anticipate it, because how it's being structured helps you, and this takes you why is it important, because this helps you to catch high probability trades and even filter bad trades from A+ trades, because you always want to engage in the market when it's high probable, right? You don't want to take days that are going to result into you losing money. And we know that each day you better have a good knowledge about how the weekly candle is going to trade, right? You need to know the direction of the weekly candle before you can be able to anticipate or even determine the profile of that weekly candle. So each week can be an open, high, low, close week, or it can be an open, low, high, close week, like for this example. And you know that each week is always going to open, put its low, reverse, then expand, which is if the week open, it will consolidate, followed by a manipulation, then distribution. So we have if A consolidate and B manipulate, then you are expecting what? C to distribute. So if you have Monday consolidate, Tuesday manipulate, then Wednesday will distribute. If Monday and Tuesday consolidate and Wednesday manipulate, Thursday will distribute. So let's take a look at the type of weekly profiles that we have. There are a ton of them out there, but as you know, I like to bring the ones that are relevant and they're all that you need. So here we have the first one. It is a consolidation reversal. In this profile, the low or high of the week forms on Thursday, and we have secondly the midweek reversal. In this profile, the low or high of the week forms on Wednesday, and we have lastly the classic expansion weekly profile, which the low or high of the week forms on Monday, either Monday or Tuesday. So let's take a look at how this actually brings out. We have here the consolidation reversal. We know that each week will open, put its low before it can expand. And where will the low of the week form? From a key level, always. And this is building on the previous video which I did on directional bias. And if you haven't watched that video, I highly recommend you go watch it so you can better understand this video. We know that each day or week is going to open, trade into a key level, put its low, then it can expand. Like for this example, the consolidation reversal. This is when Monday open but doesn't trade into any key level. It just consolidate, maybe within Friday's candle or Thursday candle, within the range of Friday and Thursday candle, right? And Tuesday also trade without reaching any relevant key level, just consolidate. And Wednesday, the same thing. It doesn't trade into any key level, but Thursday trade into that key level and then reverse. Once Thursday trade into a key level and reverse, this will give room for Friday to expand to your draw on liquidity. So you see that this is acting like a filter for you, because you know you are not going to be engaging in anything on Monday or Tuesday or even Wednesday to trade higher. You can maybe look for trade to trade lower into this fair value gap, but you will not be looking for buy trades, right? Until the low of the week has been confirmed on Thursday, then you can look to trade Friday. And we have our second weekly profile, which is the midweek reversal. This is when the low of the week forms on Wednesday. We can have Monday opens and doesn't trade into any relevant key level. And then Tuesday, like for this example, maybe doesn't respect the nearest key level. Then you anticipate what? Wednesday to trade into a key level reverse. Once that happens, once you get a reversal on Wednesday, then you can anticipate Thursday to expand to your drawn liquidity, followed by Friday being an expansion candle. And we have our last weekly profile, which is the classic expansion week, right? This is when the low or high of the week forms on Monday or Tuesday, right? You can maybe have Monday open and trade into a key level, put the low of the week, then Tuesday will expand, followed by Wednesday expansion off. Like for this example, we had Monday open, trade into this other block, but did not reverse. Then we had Tuesday trade and then reverse, right? So this gives room for Wednesday to expand and Thursday to expand. And if Thursday expanding to the weekly draw on liquidity, then you can be sure that you will have a TGIF on Friday, right? So you can only get a TGIF on Friday when the weekly profile is a classic expansion where you have the low of the week formed either on Monday or Tuesday. And why is that so important that it should be a classic week expansion? It is important because when you have a huge expansion candle, it can be 3 expansion candles, price will normally go into a new phase. It can be consolidation or a retracement. So this in itself already give room for price to retrace, right? And we need to combine that with price trading on Thursday into a key level. Once that happens, then you have high probability to get a TGIF setup, which is price retracing on Friday back within 20% or 30% of the weekly range. So let's take some examples. In today's example, I would like to use the recent PA. This is the GBP USD we have here. Monday 16th of March 2026, right? So that's the day I'm recording this video, and it's currently 6:30 my time. Bro, I'm cooked. I don't sleep, man. And here, let's take a look at how we can profile this. We could have profiled this week, this current week here. Let me mark this out. We have a bearish week, right? Or let's start from here, because we had price traded into this key level, this high, right? Was there any SMT from that high? Where is Euro USD? Oh goodness. Okay, it was like an SMT break. I think. Have it here, right? And I think we have like a strength switch right here. Something like a strength switch. Yeah. Right here. So I'm gonna focus on this one. So take a look at this candle. Start new session. So we'll take a look at this candle, because what? Price has already engaged with this relevant swing here, right? So what are you anticipating? Lower prices. And once you get this trend switch SMT, you're confirmed in that the next week, which is this weekly candle, is going to trade lower. So it is very important to first of all identify the bias of the weekly candle, the direction, right, where it's going to draw to, before you can drop on the lower time frame, which is a daily time frame, to anticipate how the weekly profile is going to form, right? So we know that this low right here can be a potential draw on liquidity for this week. So let's go down the daily time frame and see which profile was in play this week. We had Monday. Let me take this out. I really don't want it to be saturated. Okay, I'll leave this just for reference. Well, let me take it out, to be honest. I don't like it. We have Monday here. Is that Monday? No, that's Friday. So we have Friday and Monday there. This is weekly open, right? This W open, that stands for weekly open. So that's Monday, and we have Monday, Tuesday. So which weekly profile was in play on this day? We had the classic week expansion. You can see that. So the high of the week formed on Monday. You can see that here, this high. We can see that Monday open, trade into this candle's high and reverse, permitting Tuesday to expand, Wednesday expand, and Thursday expand. Now you will say, okay, Monday did not trade into any key level. Let's take a look. We had already an XMT here. from this high, right? We had already an SMT. Let me bring out this pair so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, the SMT is here. You see this high? It was taken on Euro USD, but on GBP USD we didn't take it. We had an SMT and also PSB, right? This candle printed here on Euro USD, it's a bullish candle, while on GBP USD we had a bearish candle. So we have an SMT with a PSB. So we don't need price to come back to this high. And as you know, within this candle's range, there is no other key level within it, right? We don't have any swing point. We don't have any fair value gap. So just this level, and it has already been confirmed by an SMT. So what can price do is just to expand away from this high, right? Because we've already manipulated this high. What's left is expansion. That is why this week open and didn't trade to this high again, because we already have manipulation with an XMT, and the next phase we should expect is just expansion. So this week rather, open on this Monday and trade into this candle high. Was there an SMT there with the Monday candle? Let me see. Yeah, we had an SMT. Let's try and switch SMT. You can see the Monday candle on Euro USD did not take Friday's candles high, while on GBP USD we took Friday's high. So that was a confirmation that Monday will be the high of the week, right? So we had Monday as a high of the week. That permits you to anticipate what? Tuesday to trade. Maybe you might not be expecting Tuesday to trade right to this low. You'll want to trade also Wednesday into this low, right? But Tuesday delivered into your weekly draw on liquidity. Now you need to check your order. Okay, has it delivered to the same level? When you look at this pair, you'll see that we did not trade into that level until Friday. So we had first on Tuesday we had an SMT. Why did we have an SMT there? You see that we traded into this low on Tuesday on GBP USD. You see that we traded there, right? But did we reverse? No. Then what happened on Wednesday? Wednesday delivered to this low, the same low there. So I don't want to drop lower than the daily candle. That's why I don't want to show you the PA on the lower time frame, because we're focusing on determining the weekly profile here. So what you need to understand is what we had: Monday being the high of the week, Tuesday expand, Wednesday expand, and Thursday expand. So what do we know about classic expansion weekly profile? We know that if Thursday expand and trade into a key level, then we can anticipate Friday to trade back within the weekly range, which means we can anticipate the TGIF setup to form on Friday. If we have a classic expansion week and Thursday trade into a key level, a relevant key level, then we can anticipate Friday to retrace back within the weekly range. Why is it retracing back within the weekly range? Like I mentioned, once you get 3 consecutive expansion candles to one direction, then the 4th or 5th candle will always go into a new phase. Price will go into a new phase. It can either be a retracement or consolidation. That is why it adds more value also on Friday to retrace back within the range once Thursday deliver into a key level, if it is a classic week expansion, because you already have Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday be expansion candles, so it gives more room for Friday to retrace back within the weekly range, which is what we have here. You can see we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday has delivered where? Into this key level, this low, which we traded to already on Tuesday. So price has traded where? Into a key level, and we have what? Expansion on Monday, reversal to expansion on Monday, expansion on Tuesday, expansion on Wednesday, expansion on Thursday into a key level. So what do we expect Friday to do? We can expect a TGIF. That is why you get Friday do what? Friday retrace back within the weekly range. So this is a TGIF. And this is how, or the criteria that you need in order to expect a TGIF setup on Friday. So this, you see the importance of understanding weekly profile, because you know exactly what to expect after certain conditions or certain signatures have been printed on the chart, right? Because if you know that Monday reverse, Tuesday expand, Wednesday expand, Thursday expand to a key level, you can already anticipate Friday being a consolidation day, a low probability day, or retracing back within the weekly range. So let's go to the next. See what the next candle had. To be honest, I just want to skip that. So let's see how this week formed. Let's take this off. So we know that if this week expand lower, we will want to anticipate the next week to do what? To expand also lower, right? But in this case, this week did not expand anywhere. So let's see how you could have classified this week, which result as a consolidation candle. You could have classified as a low probability week with skipping some days without trading based on the fact that the weekly profile did not present itself in a way that you want to engage in the market, right? So let's take a look at it on the daily time frame. Where is Monday opening price? We have Monday here, right? The weekly opening price there. We know that if the week is going to trade lower, what do we want it to do? We want to open, trade into a key level, put this high, right? Then before trading lower. So we want it to open, trade into a key level, and that key level, it should be a daily key level, right? Trade into a daily key level, put in a reversal, then the following days will expand lower. So looking at how this week formed, we had Monday open, trade higher, but did not trade into any key level. As you can see, there is no key level within this price range. We have but the fair value gap here. As you can see, Monday did not trade into that fair value gap. So we cannot trade Tuesday, right? Because Monday did not trade into a fair value gap. You cannot anticipate Tuesday to trade lower when the high of the week hasn't formed. So you wait for Tuesday to form. Tuesday also did not trade into any key level. Now we have a 3 candle pattern. Has it formed a swing point here? Because you know, if Monday did not trade into a key level and Tuesday also consolidated within the range of Monday, you need to check if it has formed a key level that it can reverse from. On this pair, we did not form any key level, but let's take a look at Euro USD. If we had any key level formed within this range, we have here on Euro USD, no, Monday here, weekly open. Okay, we have Monday open. Still on this pair, there is no fair value gap here, as you can see. So Monday didn't trade into any key level. So we have Monday traded higher, but did not engage with any key level. Tuesday just kind of expand a little bit lower, right? But didn't do much. So we can trade Wednesday because Tuesday didn't trade into any key level to put the high of the week hasn't formed yet. But what can you notice? You can see that the Friday candle, Monday candle, and Wednesday and Tuesday candle forms a swing point on Euro USD. You can see that here. So this right now is a swing point. Now we have 2 key levels, right? We have this swing point and the fair value gap that is here. We have the fair value gap here, which on this asset, there is no fair value gap, but the candle is there. We know that this candle, this 3 candle is a fair value gap on GBP USD. The fair value gap doesn't have to form on both pairs. No. If you form just on one, it is enough. As the same as this swing point doesn't have to form on both pairs. If you form just on one, then you can reference that on the other pair, right? So we know that we have a swing point here. So this candle now becomes a key level. We can either reverse from this swing point or we trade into this key level. We trade into this fair value gap in order to reverse. So we can see that Tuesday formed that swing, right? Tuesday formed the swing, and Wednesday manipulated, traded into that swing, right? And form what? an SMT. You can see that, right? But it did not reverse. And you can already be anticipating Thursday to expand lower because Wednesday has already manipulated. And what can you notice about that manipulation? It is also been confirmed by an SMT. So you can already be anticipating Thursday to expand lower because what we have now traded into a key level, which you are anticipating like it can be the high or low of the week. But since this Wednesday candle close as an expansion candle rather, not a reversal candle, and for those of you who watched my previous video on directional bias, you know the difference between expansion candle and a reversal candle, right? So this is an expansion candle, it's not a reversal candle, which means if this Thursday candle is going to reverse, it's going to reverse from its high, right? It needs to manipulate its high before it can reverse, right? So that is why you get another manipulation, a second stage manipulation here on Thursday. So we get a reversal into expansion candle. So this candle, this Thursday candle, becomes a reversal candle at the same time expansion candle. That is why we have this huge delivery here. So you can see how you could have filtered this day using weekly profile alone. You would have stayed without participating in the market on Monday, on Tuesday, and on Wednesday. Why? Because the conditions did not sit right with you in the market, and you could only look to trade on Thursday going into Friday, because since Thursday is a reversal candle, then you can anticipate what Friday also to take the low of Thursday, potentially reaching for your weekly draw on liquidity. But for this example, Friday did not deliver into the weekly draw on liquidity. If Friday did not deliver into the weekly draw on liquidity and you had a reversal or a manipulation late in the week, then you can expect Monday to be a very energetic day. Monday would deliver to this draw on liquidity. Why? Because Friday has manipulated, or the previous week manipulated late and did not expand to the draw on liquidity. So the draw on liquidity is still open on both pairs. So there is no SMT on this low, right? As you can see, there is absolutely no SMT. Price did not trade into this low on Euro USD, and it didn't trade into that low on GBP USD. So the low is still open. So that's when you can anticipate Monday to be an expansion day into this draw on liquidity. You can see how the weekly profile is helping you to anticipate or to determine your daily bias, right? Using the weekly profile alone, it can aid you in determining your daily bias. Now, this helps you also to execute on the lower time frame with confidence because you know what the higher time frame narrative is. So that gives a solid ground on your framework, right? So we can say that, okay, the week has closed on Friday here, but Friday is what? This is a consolidation candle, but we don't want to see anything here. Maybe Monday can just open and rip lower because the week has already manipulated. Manipulation happened late in the week, the previous week, right? And we did not display to our draw on liquidity. We can expect Monday to do what? To expand to that draw on liquidity. So going into this day, I will already be anticipating Monday to be an expansion candle. So let's take a look if that is exactly what happened. As you can see, here we go. You see how Monday traded through this high, through this low, sorry. Let's take a look at that here. You will see that Monday traded to our previous week draw on liquidity. And I hope you understand the reason why Monday traded to this low. So these are the instances where you can trade Monday regardless of how the week is going to paint out, right? Because you already know that Monday will deliver to this draw on liquidity. And this can only happen if the manipulation occurs late in the week, right? If manipulation occurred late in the week and you didn't have expansion to the draw on liquidity, then the next week, early in the week, you are going to get expansion. So let's see how the next weekly candle formed. Let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look at the profile of this weekly candle. So this will be the draw on liquidity, right? So if this week consolidated or manipulated late within the week and you're anticipating Monday to expand lower, then where would the draw on liquidity of this week be? This low, right? So let's take a look at how the week formed. We had Monday. This is Monday, right? What kind of profile is this? You can't even profile this whole thing, right? Can you? Absolutely not. I won't even dare to. Why? Because we have already delivered to our draw on liquidity. I will not be trading lower anymore because the next draw on liquidity is too far and I don't expect this current week to deliver to this low. It can't happen, right? So once we have delivered to a draw on liquidity early in the week, then expect the following days to be consolidating or just BS around doing nothing. So this is why you get it here. Since last week manipulated late and you get expansion early on in this week, then the last day of these weeks are going to be consolidation because you had already expansion early in the week into your draw on liquidity. So the week has already been exhausted. So the following days are just going to BS around, being consolidation. So you would have participated on Monday into trading this day into this low, right? And even trading Tuesday. Yeah, let's take a look at how you could have traded Tuesday. Yeah, you could have traded Tuesday because Monday traded to this low, but on this pair we did not trade into that low on Monday, so we still had a draw on liquidity open for Tuesday to draw to, right? So that's why you get expansion on Tuesday into this weekly low, right? So once you get expansion to your weekly draw on liquidity, then the following days you don't want to be around them anymore because you know they're just going to BS around or just go into a new phase. Like I told you, if you have price expand into a key level, a relevant key level, the market will often go into a new phase. It can be retracement or it can be consolidation. Like for this example, we have a consolidation once Monday and Tuesday traded into our draw on liquidity. We have Wednesday consolidated, Thursday consolidated, and even Friday just consolidated within the range of Tuesday candle. So we didn't take the high or low of the Tuesday candle. We just consolidated within its range. So these are the days where you want to sit and do nothing using what? Weekly profile alone. So you see how important this actually is, right? So let's take a look at how the next week formed. Now we have delivered into this draw on liquidity. It might be a monthly week, I don't know, a monthly key level. To be honest, I don't know. Let's see, and we still have this one. So if it's either we reverse from this low, right? It's either we reverse from this low or we take this low, right? Going into this next week. Let's see how the weeks formed. Oh no, I don't want you to go that much. I just want to see the profile that was in play on this week. Yeah, so you can see that we took this low, right? So let's take a look at how this week formed. Let's take a look at it. I hope I can take this off now and it won't confuse anyone. So let's take a look at this weekly profile. Where is Monday? This is Monday. Okay, this is very interesting. We are getting a classic week expansion again. This is Monday. Permit me to take this off. Just clean the chart. I don't like how it's looking right now. Okay, you can see, as you know, if the week is going to be a bearish week, as we are anticipating the week to draw to this weekly, to this is it a monthly swing or a weekly swing? We wanted to do it to open high first before trading lower, right? And that high we wanted to form from where? From a key level, right? And we want that to be confirmed by an SMT. So as you can see, Monday open traded where? Into this level. Yeah, we traded here we have a fair value gap there. As you can see, we traded there on Monday, as you can see here. So you can already go into this day anticipating Tuesday to be either to reverse from Monday high, like I told you in the previous, like we did here. Wednesday expanded into a key level, but it closed as an expansion candle. If it closed as an expansion candle, then you'll be anticipating the next day to reverse from where? From its high. That's the same thing we have here. We have what? Monday traded into this key level, but it closed as an expansion candle, not a reversal candle. So we can anticipate what? Tuesday to trade to Monday's high, then reverse off of it, right? So we have an SMT with this key level, which is a fair value gap, as you can see here. I think I should highlight this one. I don't know if anyone is not seeing it, just for reference. Yeah, we have this fair value gap here, but I don't want the chart to be so saturated, so I'll take that off. So we are anticipating what? Tuesday to reverse off of Monday's high, because Monday closed as an expansion candle, right? So we get that reversal off of it, and our incentive shifted to this level. So now we are having the high of the week on Tuesday. Now if we get the high of the week on Tuesday, what can you already anticipate the week to be, the weekly profile to be? It will be a classic expansion week, right? So we get Monday, Tuesday being the reversal, Wednesday expand lower, Thursday expand lower. Now this is a very important thing. Now why didn't we get a TGIF on Friday in this classic expansion week? This is a classic expansion week, right? Where the high of the week formed on Tuesday, but we did not get Friday retrace back within the range. Can anyone tell me why we did not get Friday to reverse back within the range? Anybody? Just take a look at it before I point it out for you. Okay, here is the twist. Prior to Friday, Thursday did not trade into any key level. You can see that. This is Thursday. I think I should take out the Friday candle. Thursday closed without trading to this low, this swing, which is this. Right? We didn't take it. We did not take this key level on Thursday. So if Thursday did not trade into a key level, then we cannot anticipate price to trade back within the week range. No, we will anticipate Friday to be an expansion candle into that weekly draw on liquidity. Prior to Friday, the weekly draw on liquidity was still open. It's still open here. So you cannot anticipate Friday to be a TGIF because Thursday did not deliver into any relevant key level, right? So the weekly draw on liquidity was still open. That is why we had Friday do what? Friday trade into that weekly draw on liquidity, as you can see here. You see that? I think that's it for this current PA. There's absolutely nothing else. And this candle right now is Monday candle. This is a new week. The data hasn't printed yet, so I cannot use it for anything. We just have the Monday candle printout, and that's basically it. So as what, let's try to do some kind of analysis for this week. What I think this current week might do. What do I think this week should do? First, what I see is we deliver into this relevant swing. Now we can either get a reversal back into this fair value gap, which will probably not happen this week, I think. So this weekly candle can either just consolidate because price has delivered into a relevant key level. So it can go into a new phase by consolidating, or it reverse, or it disrespect this level. It fails to manipulate this level and trade to this low. And looking at how the weekly candle is developing, it will likely draw to this low, and we have like an equal low here. It's relatively close to this low, so it's like an equal low. So this will be my potential draw on liquidity for this week, right? I'll want to see this week trade to this level. Now, as you can see, we are opening high first. Where are we drawing to? Into a key level within the previous week candle, right? So looking at it on the daily time frame, do we have any key level? Let's take this out. We have this fair value gap. This is a Monday candle. It did not trade into any key level. So I want to see this Tuesday to expand into this fair value gap, put this high, then the following candles to expand lower. That is what I am anticipating. This will potentially be where the high of the week will be put in, giving room for either Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to deliver to this low. So let's see how that works. So I think that's basically it for this one today, guys. So see you in the next one. And as you know, I always want to plead with you guys. Give me a like, follow, and leave your comments. I read them all, and certainly I act on them. And this video actually is partially dedicated to the guy who raised a question regarding TGIF, whether is it even important to consider. So this video, I hope it has helped you to understand when you can anticipate a TGIF setup to form, when you can expect it, and when you will not even consider it to be in play, right? So this is basically it. That's it for today, guys. So see you in the next one.